Hey guys, welcome back to Emperor, and in this one we're going to start the Zhou Dynasty, I think it was, yes, the Zhou Dynasty. So, turbulent winds. When a ruler does not retain the mandate from heaven, his reign will surely end. Thus it is that the mighty family of Zhou have been victorious in battle, and now rule supreme over the fertile valleys and rough peaks of the Yellow River Basin. Truth be known, though the Shang people left us much painstakingly crafted bronzeware, their rulers lost their heavenly mandate. It is now time for change and progress, and time for the Zhou. So, next dynasty, which introduces a lot more of the other concepts of Emperor. I'm going to start off the campaign now.
Toppling the paper tiger kingdom of Shang was easy compared to the task now at hand. The far-flung lands need to be united and ruled by a strong but just hand. Our new king, Wu Wang, the son of heaven, is well suited for the job. As royal administrator of the Zhou capital of Hao, the burden on the king will be eased if you perform well. There are vassals that must be controlled and rivals usurped. As you guide the development of the city, you should keep a watchful eye on the other cities of the kingdom, particularly Shu. If a hen strays too far from the flock, she must be promptly brought back before becoming lost. Do not hesitate to use the king's army if the need arises. As for the capital itself, ornate sculptures should be built to beautify the boulevards of the upper class, and graceful arched bridges used to span the powerful Wei River, a river that at times can be quite unpredictable and dangerous, especially during the spring rains.
So it's Zhou, I think is what he said, yes. And basically we're introducing the concept of vassals in this campaign, so it comes up quite often later. Basically you have to rule 3 cities, and you already start with 2 anyway, but I'll talk about that in a second. 1 ally and 40 people in a humble compound. Let's proceed to the city. Pause. Massive, bloody map. This is huge. There is tons of space to reach this goal, so you have no trouble meeting it. You've got bronze over here on the other side of the river here, so we're going to be getting a hold of that. I think there's bronze over here as well. Yeah, there's a tiny amount of bronze here, which we're not harvesting. So we're going to cross the river to get all the bronze we need. There's plenty of it. But let's have a look. Yeah, it already says you've got 2 cities. If you have a look at your map, Khufu and Anyang are already vassals. Basically, they'll send you tribute to a fixed amount. It's usually always cash, as you can see. And this means you've also got 2 trading partners already. Throughout the Zhou campaign, Anyang and Khufu are always trading. So you can always import You can always import jade from Khufu and sell carved jade to Anyang. So you'll always have that source of money straight away. Other than that, they're pretty useless. Got a few other cities here. Wu, which we don't know anything about. It did mention about Shu, that they might get upset, or you have to pull them back or something. Pingyang and the nomad camps, who won't invade actually, they're just there just to look nice, I think. Tons and tons of space. This map actually gets some modifications later. You come back to it several times for missions called Chang'an later in the campaign, so you don't have to worry about it too much. It looks a bit different than it is now. So I've got cabbage, millet, and wheat-free food types, and silk, so that's good. We don't have fishing or anything else, so no point really using up the space, and we can trade with water trade routes. I'll talk about vassals a bit later, but if you're playing on very hard, the 2 vassals you already have will just rebel straight away. While they're rebelling, they may invade you if you don't build some forts. I'll talk about how you can quell rebellions a bit later. It's fairly easy. The diplomatic method is the most simplest. As you can see, we start with 18,000 strings of cash, and we should have no trouble making money in this one. So I'm going to go off camera, build up a small silk industry over here. Well, somewhat small because we'll need it. And build a housing block over here, start getting some food into the city across this bit, because this is a nice big area for food. Maybe down here, I don't know, I'm not sure where I'll put the first initial housing block, maybe here instead. And so I'll go and plan out the city, see how it turns out. So here's our city. I've got this all planned over here. So this is going to be one of my housing blocks is going to be. I'm going to have 2 common housing blocks around here. The problem is that these rocks get in the way of getting the feng shui, so I might have to move stuff around a bit because it's kind of annoying. I might be able to get a housing block maybe down this bit here and connect up right there. I don't know. We'll see. I also need 40 humble compounds, so that is, if I remember correctly, 4 elite houses. Pardon me. I will need elite houses to build forts. So let's unpause the game. Let it run, obviously. And building up a military is the most important part. We get an immediate tribute from both Khufu and Anyang. Not important because of the fact that if you're playing on what difficulty? 2. Very hard, they'll just rebel straight away after that, I think. I'm going to put down 1 millet and 1 wheat farm, but I know this is going to be poor fertility for these farms, so I'll have to extend it this way a bit. Maybe just keep extending it downwards in this direction. There's no shortage of space, so you can just keep building as much as you need. So 1, 2, 3. I'll go with 1 there, and I'll put hemp farms maybe just along this section here. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. We'll do that, and we'll put down a hemp farm like so. I think that'll work out fairly well. Actually, I'll put the road going this way instead, and have all the hemp farms, maybe a few food farms that way. I don't know, we'll see. But there's plenty of starting funds, so I'm not too concerned really about anything. I'm going to roadblock that. And 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Just put. I want to make sure that these have good feng shui. I'm not really concerned about perfect harmony, as again I'm not going for that. But we'll be able to get loads of silk farms down this bit, maybe not so much here. Now my military is going to be put up here where the bronze is, because that's where it's best at. Let's see, where do these forts want to go? Well, we can't put them anywhere because we don't have the administrative city. Now, we don't really need the palace in this one because there's no menagerie goal, so I'm not going to bother with it. Let's see, can we turn this around? Yes, we can. I'll put that just there, just to have it, because it doesn't matter where it is as long as it's just there. It'll work. So I'll start building up a military as well. In my original, I had the city all kind of crammed up in this little bit here, which you don't really need to do, so I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to build out in this nice big open plain. So let's see. I've got to get at least a fort down with troops in it, or my vassals are just going to rebel immediately. That's the problem with having vassals. They rebel if you don't give them special attention, shall we say. Where do these things like being? Well, I could put one there, like so. I think I'll have to put more up in this kind of area, I don't know. So we'll put, let's see, roadblock there. We'll do just this. Put that. Where's the bronzeware makers? They're all good kind of along this area, so I could do that. They don't like to be near trees, so obviously if I just delete some trees that'll be fine. Ceramics industry, I'm not sure what I'll do with that. I'm pretty sure a city or two will buy ceramics. I'm not sure who. Is it I don't know if it's Wu, Shu or Pengyang that buys ceramics, but we'll find out later anyway. So we've got this all set up. These are all going to accept our free food stuff, so we're going to put 9 of that, 9 of that, and 9 of that. We don't need 4 food types. Well, we will need a 4 food type from imports, because we can only grow 3 types here, so I think someone will sell us the 4 food types. I don't know who. Now, when it comes to the rule free cities requirement, it doesn't matter who it is. In my playthrough, I actually made the nomad camps a vassal to me, which is perfectly fine, it doesn't matter. So now we're just going to let the city kind of sort of build itself, but we also need to focus on our military as well, because if we don't do that, we're going to have rebellious vassals on our hands. Space for 62 more people. We might be able to get more housing in here. Just rebuild this road a little bit. like so. I'll probably not involve most of these buildings, we'll try anyway. Just put some along there just to kind of spruce this up a little bit. Put some statues in there as well. They're not going to evolve, but it's okay. Doesn't matter too much, to be honest with you. So let's just wait for this food to come in before we do anything more. So a bit of a food harvest is coming in here for the mill. Unfortunately it's not got enough workers. So we'll just reduce this to thing. I've turned off some industries for now. I've put some more housing down to try and get the thing working efficiently, just to get rid of some of the unemployment problems. Hopefully that'll help. We've got one food type, which doesn't help, but never mind. I'm apparently the greatest ruler in history and I don't actually have a military, how interesting. So I've got one fort down, I don't think it's started. How long have we been playing? I think that's the first year going past, so we're okay. We just have to make sure we get the military running by the end of the next year, because if we don't have troops we're going to be invaded. Well, not invaded, we'll just have to deal with some rebellion. It's not helpful in any way. Yep, there we go, troop being paid. In a way it's kind of good to have vassals because they kind of just give you some money every so often. So as you can see they're dedicated at the moment. I'm not going to actually ask them for anything. I just realised we don't have anyone buying silk right now. So I'm going to go and send diplomatic requests to at least all of these cities to find out what they want. Even in nomad camps, because they won't invade you unless you have no troops in the city. So we'll send out those diplomatic requests just to ensure that we get somewhere. And I'll put more silk farms down here later. Let's see what's our employment like. Getting better. Once the next harvest comes in, we'll be A-OK, I think. So we'll have to just let that run. Hopefully get some more workers. And I'll go ahead and turn on bronze and weapons industries just to get some weapons into the city, because we want to make sure we get somewhere. Probably the only elevation ramp to get up to the bronze is in one location. I think there's some bronze just here. Yes, there's a little bit of copper just in this section here. So there's enough up here, so we don't need to really use the other, the little bit here, because there's no point. So we're just going to let this run, get the food in. Oh, trade with Pyongyang is opened up, but the other three have rejected the trade agreements. So Pyongyang buy silk. They're a water trader, so I don't think I'm going to bother selling silk to them. Who buys silk? Well, Wu buys silk, and I think they're a land trade route, if I remember correctly from when I played this. Shu buys some bronze, whereas salt. Now, salt is a commodity you get in the next mission. I'm not going to talk about it much just now because there's no reason to have salt in this one. I know you can import salt, but you don't need it right now. And I'll talk about it in the next mission, as I said. So we'll sell silk to Wu. Bronzeware to Shu, since they buy that. We'll import maybe a couple of food types from other cities. And we'll sell weapons to Pyongyang, since we're going to have all the weapons up here anyway. So we'll have all the trade stuff up here. I might expand on this a bit more later, put some more along here, and hopefully get that going. Let's see, our workers are coming in. The food types are almost about to... the harvest is almost about to come in, which is good. Let's see, we'll set that up to high just to get this going a bit faster, because we'll need it. We'll need the millet and the wheat as well. Once the wheat comes in, we'll be fine, I think. And I think with this little bit of bronze being made, we should be able to get at least a couple of troops into this fort. It doesn't matter if a vassal rebels, because you can easily can them without using military force. So hopefully this one block will be enough for now, maybe in the next video. Because this is definitely going to take more than one part to do this one, so let's let it run a bit more. So the food's come in, we've got some food types in. I haven't managed to be able to stabilise this enough so we have the two food types in straight away, so we're only getting plain food. I've also put down the music school and acrobat school because we'll need them later. Still got plenty of money, so I'm not turning this industry on for silk yet. Not until I get some troops. At least anyway, so we should be able to get some troops shortly, I think. Hopefully before anyone tries to rebel, because we don't really want rebellions on our hands at the moment. I'm going to set this down to low because we need to get this right. Okay, there's a troop. So that should be enough to keep them from trying to rebel against us. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we'll get some millet in. I'll put in another millet farm, I think, since we will need it. So 1, 2, 3, 5. Just put this in. Like so. Millet farm. We'll put the cabbage farm in a bit later, maybe along this bit. I think I'll put the second housing block for common housing down this bit here so that we've got access to that. We'll put the elite block in this space here. No space for the festival, unfortunately. I don't think anyone's actually upset with us at the moment, so that's okay, that's good. Yeah, tribute paid by Khufu and Anyang, that's good, they're not rebelling. If you're playing on very hard, as I've said, they'll already be rebelling at this stage, so there's no point worrying. I've left that little gap there so that they can get to the copper. Of course, that's just going to be as far as they have to go, I'm afraid. It is a bit annoying, I have to say. So I'm going to put down a second hemp farm since we've got the space for it and the money. I'll build up the silk shortly because we'll need silk soon. Just to please the gods, obviously, because they're getting a bit neglected. So let's, since we've got some workers, we'll try our raw silk and silk industries just to get this going. Hopefully this housing area will evolve. The hemp is just going to stockpile a little bit in the storage yard. We'll give some of it to Huang Di. We'll just give him a big offering just to keep him contented because it's not being used. So we'll set this back up to high again since we've got some military happening here. I think I'll extend this road a bit just to have some space. I might move this over to the end, I don't know. But we've got some weapons coming in, which is good, so they're training some troops. So the wheat's getting harvested. The millet will get harvested shortly as well. Hopefully they'll be able to get produced at the same time. Of course, as you'll see here, some of this is not getting harvested very well because the land is not very fertile. You'll get irrigation a bit later in this campaign as well, so you don't really need to worry too much about it. So get some raw silk made, which is good. We'll be able to give that away to... Oh, an emissary from Wu asks permission to enter your city. Oh, he wants to give some rice. That's actually quite helpful. Thanks, Wu. We'll just accept that, actually, to be honest with you. How much? 6. That'll do, I think. We'll just get that in. That'll help. Do they sell us rice? Yeah, they do. They sell us rice and fish, so that's actually helpful. In fact, Wu's actually selling us food types, which is actually helpful. I'm not sure. I will open up all the trade routes barring this one with the nomad camps because we don't really need them. If I have an oversupply of silk, I'll just open that trade route anyway. Getting an ally is also necessary, so we're going to have to obviously conquer a city and get someone really happy with us. I think I'll go with trying to get Wu happy because we could give them tons and tons of silk anyway. So we'll just let this build up, get more silk into the city obviously. We've got plenty of food being made. Wheat is stockpiling, so that'll help for when we get the millet into the city. So I'll just extend this road a bit because there's space here for more farms down this side, which is good. In terms of the ceramics industry, I'm not sure where that's going because obviously we can't put it here because there's no proper water table. We have a look here, it's poor, so it's not good enough for clay. So the clay I have to maybe go up here, so we'll just accept that gift. In fact, what I'll do is the clay will be made up here in this space here, since there's plenty of space. We'll have it connected down here. Obviously, if I have to put a housing block down here, I'll have to bring a storage yard down here so they can get access to it. Couple compounds in there because it's fairly self-explanatory, and the hemp's coming in as well. Millet's growing, which is good. Our military is building up nicely. I'm just going to keep building loads and loads of military infantry forts, to be precise. I still don't know what they mean by a fire element. I'll have to check out Heaven Games for that. So I've got 2 food types here. Let's just go ahead and put down a hemp shop since that's going to be necessary shortly. They won't need to bother with appetizing food right now, so it doesn't matter. The hemp's coming in. Lots of it, I have to say. That's a lot of hemp. Let's just give some of this hemp to the gods to keep them from getting upset. The silk's coming in nicely. I'll build up some more silk farms in a second once this housing stabilizes. They need access to appetizing food, but it doesn't matter because they're not going to provide the appetizing food just yet. So how many houses does that take? 600 people basically, that's a lot. That'll stabilize our city and allow us to build more industry, particularly bronzeware. What do the trading keys like? They like, there. Because I think the trees are protecting it. Let's just clear some trees just a second. Just to see if my theory works. Yeah, they need to be near trees, not rocks. So obviously we'll want to try and destroy as few of the trees as possible. Maybe something like that, and then we can fit them in there. I'll obviously try to get them up here because this is closer to the industry area. So I'm going to try and produce as much bronzeware as I can and sell it to other cities. Particularly like Shu and all that. We might import jade at some point. They're committed apparently, and that's higher than I think dedicated. I'm not sure what the levels are for it. But we're getting some troops, which will stop anyone invading. This is a peaceful mission. There are no invasions unless you trigger them. So we've got 3 food types. It doesn't matter because the rice is just from a request. So we're going to start building up this shortly, I think. Let's go ahead and put down orchard sheds, another one of these. Might as well hold the new year since we've got the funds and all that for it. There's the tribute coming in. Let's see, I'll just extend this right down. Later on you'll get more iron down here, that comes up later. I'll not talk about that right now because there's no point. So 2 of these, we'll put down another couple of weavers. I might make jade later if we're really needing money, but I don't think we will. So we've got the 2 food types, we'll just let that kind of stabilise. Get the housing in, we'll get more people into the city obviously. Let's go back country because of the tree I think, so we'll just destroy that. And let's put more of these down, more bronzeware makers, bronzeware thingies. Bronze smelters, sorry. Let's put down another weaponsmith or 2. We'll put 4 of them down, produce as many weapons as we can, because once we've built up our military to ridiculous levels, we will not need weapons for the city. We'll just export it all to Pingyang. You might remember Pingyang from the Zhou Dynasty. They were the de facto enemy of early Tao, but it doesn't matter because they're actually in a different place completely. As you can see, they were originally where Baoji and Banpo are. Now, apart from Khufu and the nomad camps, every dynasty has different cities. So when you start the next dynasty, which is the Qin dynasty, you have completely different cities. None of the originals survive, barring things like the nomad camps. So you will see different cities throughout the game. So you won't be able, you might be able to conquer one campaign perfectly fine, but then have to go to the next one with a whole load of other troubles. So be aware of that. I'm going to leave it there for this video. This might have been a fairly short video, but we've got the city started. In the next mission, we're going to continue building up the city, build more farms, obviously some cabbage farms, and start building the military because we're going to need elite housing very quickly here. Also try to get lavish Sajuuk as a minimum, just to get a couple of extra forts. And we'll try and get towards the allied city first before we try to conquer any cities. So thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next video guys, bye now.